Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the world of international seafood trade.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, how to ace an interview for an import-export manager role specializing in fish, crustaceans, and mollusks.
Sounds delicious.
We've got some great resources from RoleCatcher,
Okay.
including career guides and sample interview questions.
Fantastic.
We're going to try to extract the key insights from these resources and give you that extra edge to land the job.
It's a fascinating field, and this role is absolutely crucial in ensuring the smooth flow of seafood across borders, from the ocean to the plate.
Okay, let's unpack this a little.
Uh,
What does an import-export manager in this industry actually do on a daily basis?
Well, it's a very dynamic role.
Okay.
It combines strategic thinking, coordination, and a deep understanding of international trade regulations.
Wow.
Imagine you're sort of orchestrating this complex symphony of
Oh.
moving parts. You're responsible for installing and maintaining procedures to ensure seamless import and export processes, working with internal teams like production and sales, as well as external partners, such as customs officials, freight forwarders, and suppliers.
So it's not just about pushing paperwork, it's about being a problem solver
Exactly.
and a relationship builder on a global scale.
Precisely. And that's exactly what employers are looking for in candidates.
Everybody.
Someone who can handle the challenges of international trade, navigate complex regulations, and ensure the quality and timely delivery of seafood products.
All right, so let's dive into the interview prep then.
Let's do it.
RoleCatcher provides some excellent sample questions that really get to the heart of what employers are looking for.
Right.
Are you ready to tackle a few?
Absolutely. Let's start with a question that often comes up early on in an interview.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date on international trade regulations and policies?
This seems straightforward, but I imagine there's a strategic way to approach this. What are your thoughts?
You're right. It's not enough to just list a few websites that you visit.
Right.
You want to really showcase your proactive approach to staying informed.
Okay.
Think about specific industry conferences that you attend, like the Seafood Expo Global or the China Fisheries and Seafood Expo.
Oh, wow, yeah.
These events offer incredible networking opportunities and insights into the latest trends and regulations.
So it's about demonstrating that I'm actively involved in the industry, not just passively reading articles online.
Exactly. You could also mention specific trade publications that you follow,
Okay.
like Seafood Source or Intrafish. Highlight any government resources you regularly consult. For example, the FDA's Seafood Import Program or the EU's regulations on seafood safety. The key is to be specific and demonstrate your commitment to staying ahead of the curve.
I see. So it's about painting a picture of myself as someone who is truly invested in this field.
Yes.
Now, what about those tricky follow-up questions?
Yeah.
What if they asked me to give a specific example of a time a regulation changed and how I adapted?
That's where having a real-life anecdote ready can really impress the interviewer.
Yeah.
Think about a situation where you had to quickly adjust to a new regulation or navigate a complex compliance issue. Perhaps you had to implement new labeling requirements
All right.
or modify your import procedures due to a change in trade agreements.
So it's about showing that I can handle unexpected challenges and adapt quickly to changes in the regulatory landscape.
Precisely. Now let's move on to another common interview question.
Okay.
Can you describe your experience in managing logistics for importing and exporting goods?
This is where I get to showcase my knowledge of the entire import-export journey, right?
Yes.
From coordinating with freight forwarders and carriers to navigating those sometimes daunting customs procedures.
Exactly. This is your opportunity to impress them with your understanding
Okay.
of the intricate details
Yeah.
involved in moving seafood products across borders. Be sure to mention your familiarity with key documents such as bills of lading, which are legal documents outlining the type, quantity, and destination of goods being carried, commercial invoices, and of course, Incoterms.
Can you explain briefly what Incoterms are and why they're important in this role?
Of course, Incoterms, short for International Commercial Terms, are a set of globally recognized trade terms that define the responsibilities of the buyer and the seller in international transactions.
Okay.
They clarify who's responsible for things like transportation costs, insurance, and customs clearance.
All right.
Familiarity with Incoterms demonstrates your understanding of the legalities and practicalities of international trade.
So it's not just about knowing the terms, but also being able to apply them in real-world scenarios to ensure smooth and efficient transactions.
Absolutely. Using specific examples and demonstrating your hands-on experience can make a significant difference in showcasing your expertise.
Okay.
Now let's shift our focus to risk management.
Okay.
International trade inherently involves uncertainties and potential disruptions, but
Right.
players want to know you can navigate those choppy waters.
I imagine a question like, how do you manage risk in international trade? Is designed to assess that.
You're absolutely right. When answering this question, think about the broader geopolitical and economic factors
Okay.
that could impact seafood trade, political instability in a sourcing region, currency fluctuations impacting costs, even something like weather disrupting shipments.
Oh, yeah.
These are all potential risks you need to be prepared for.
So I need to demonstrate that I'm not just reacting to problems, but proactively mitigating risks.
Exactly. You can mention hedging strategies to protect against currency fluctuations,
Okay.
securing appropriate insurance coverage for shipments, or diversifying your supplier base to minimize disruptions.
For example, if I'm concerned about potential supply chain disruptions in one region, I could source from multiple countries to reduce my reliance on a single source.
That's a great example of proactive risk management.
Okay.
It shows you're thinking strategically and anticipating potential challenges before they arise.
Good.
Now let's talk about a question that often trips up candidates. How do you balance cost and quality when sourcing suppliers for imported products?
It seems like a classic dilemma, finding that sweet spot between getting the best quality while staying within budget.
It is, and it's a question that really probes your negotiation skills and your understanding of the seafood market.
Right.
You want to emphasize that you're not just looking for the cheapest option,
Right.
but rather the supplier who can consistently provide high-quality products at a competitive price.
So I should describe my supplier evaluation process
Yes.
and how I factor in things like quality certifications,
Yes.
like HACCP, which ensures food safety standards are met in addition to price.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
HACCP certification is crucial in the seafood industry. You could also discuss how you build strong long-term relationships with suppliers to negotiate favorable terms and ensure consistent quality.
Because a good relationship can often lead to better communication, smoother processes,
Yes.
and even more competitive pricing in the long run.
Precisely. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI features can really help you tailor your answers.
Okay, tell me more about how AI can help me prepare for this specific role.
Imagine having a personalized coach,
So,
analyzing your responses and providing feedback tailored to the import-export manager position.
right.
RoleCatcher's AI can do just that. It can help you refine your answers, suggesting stronger wording or phrasing to highlight your skills and experience in a way that resonates with employers in the seafood industry.
So it's like having an expert in international seafood trade helping me craft the perfect responses.
Exactly. And this is just the beginning. We'll delve into more sample questions and career insights in the next segment.
I'm eager to hear more. This is turning out to be an incredibly valuable deep dive. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're continuing our exploration of how to ace that import-export manager interview in the seafood industry. We've already covered some crucial questions about staying up to date on regulations, managing logistics, and mitigating risks. Let's delve into some more challenging scenarios that you might encounter during the interview.
Yeah, it's important to remember that employers are not only looking for technical expertise, but also for individuals who can handle complex situations and make sound decisions.
Let's imagine the interviewer asks, how do you ensure compliance with import-export laws and regulations in this industry? It seems like a broad question. Where do I even begin?
You're right, it is a broad question, but that's an opportunity for you to demonstrate your comprehensive understanding of the regulatory landscape. Start by mentioning specific laws and regulations relevant to seafood trade,
Okay.
such as the Lacey Act, which combats illegal trafficking of wildlife, plants, and fish, or the Seafood Import Monitoring Program in the U.S., designed to prevent illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing.
So I should show that I'm not just vaguely aware of regulations, but I actually know the key ones that directly impact this industry.
Exactly. Then go beyond simply naming the laws. Discuss how you've implemented compliance measures in your previous roles. You could mention conducting internal audits to ensure adherence to regulations, developing training programs for your team, or establishing clear procedures for handling import-export documentation.
It's about demonstrating that I'm proactive and meticulous when it comes to compliance, minimizing risks for the company.
Precisely. Now let's move on to another aspect that's crucial in international trade:
Okay.
building relationships across cultures. What happens when the interviewer asks, how do you manage relationships with suppliers and customers in different countries?
This is where my interpersonal skills come in. But it's more than just being friendly, right?
Absolutely. It's about demonstrating cultural sensitivity and adaptability. You could share specific examples of how you've successfully navigated cultural differences in your previous roles.
For example, I once had to adjust my communication style when working with a supplier in Japan, where formality and indirect communication are highly valued. I learned to be more patient, attentive to nonverbal cues and to avoid direct confrontation.
That's a great example. It shows you're willing to learn and adapt to different cultural norms. You could also highlight your language skills if you're fluent in any languages relevant to your target markets.
It's all about showcasing my ability to build rapport and establish trust across borders.
Now let's talk about negotiating an essential skill in any import-export role. How would you answer the question? Can you discuss your experience in negotiating prices and contracts with suppliers and customers?
I love a good negotiation, finding that win-win solution where both parties feel satisfied. But I understand that employers are looking for more than just my enthusiasm. They want to see results.
You're right. It's essential to highlight your ability to secure favorable terms while maintaining strong relationships. Focus on your understanding of market dynamics,
Okay.
your ability to leverage data and industry insights to support your negotiating position,
Right.
and your track record of successful outcomes.
For instance, I could share an example of how I negotiated a lower price with a supplier by demonstrating my understanding of current market trends and offering a long-term contract in exchange for a volume discount.
Excellent example. It showcases your strategic thinking and your ability to find creative solutions that benefit both parties. Now let's shift our focus to quality control, which is paramount in the seafood industry. How would you approach the question? How do you manage quality control for imported and exported products?
This is where my meticulous nature shines. But again, I need to go beyond simply saying I'm good at inspecting things upon arrival.
You're right. It's about demonstrating your understanding of the entire quality control process,
Yeah.
from supplier selection to final delivery. You could discuss your experience implementing quality checks at various stages of the supply chain, both before export and upon arrival.
For example, I could talk about my experience working with suppliers to implement HACCP plans, conducting regular inspections of processing facilities, and using technology like temperature monitoring systems to ensure the cold chain is maintained throughout the journey.
Those are excellent points. It shows you're not just reacting to quality issues, but proactively preventing them. You could also mention any certifications you hold that demonstrate your expertise in quality management,
Okay.
such as a Certified Quality Auditor CQA designation.
It's all about showcasing my commitment to ensuring that only the highest quality seafood products reach the customer. Now, efficient inventory management is another crucial aspect of this role. What should I highlight when asked? Can you describe your experience in managing inventory levels for imported and exported products?
This question assesses your ability to balance supply and demand, minimize waste, and ensure a smooth flow of goods. Discuss your experience using inventory management systems, forecasting demand, optimizing stock levels, and implementing strategies to prevent stockouts or overstocking.
For example, I could mention my experience implementing a just-in-time inventory system where products are ordered and delivered only as needed, reducing storage costs and minimizing the risk of spoilage.
That's a great example. You could also talk about your ability to analyze sales data and market trends to anticipate seasonal fluctuations in demand and adjust inventory levels accordingly.
It's all about demonstrating my understanding of a delicate balance between having enough product on hand to meet customer needs without incurring unnecessary storage costs or risking product degradation.
Now, while this role heavily relies on individual expertise, employers also want to know you can work effectively as part of a team. How would you respond to, can you describe your experience in managing a team of import-export professionals?
This is where my leadership skills take center stage. I could discuss my experience delegating tasks, providing constructive feedback, and motivating team members to achieve common goals. But I imagine they're looking for more than just a list of leadership qualities.
You're absolutely right. Sharing a specific anecdote that highlights your leadership style and action would be much more impactful.
Perhaps I could share a story about a time when I successfully mentored a junior team member, helping them develop their skills and confidence to take on more responsibility. Or I could discuss a situation where I effectively navigated a conflict between two team members, facilitating a resolution that benefited both individuals and the team as a whole.
Those are excellent examples. They demonstrate your ability to foster a positive and productive work environment, which is highly valued in any leadership role.
Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to RoleCatcher's AI features. We've covered a lot of ground here, and it can feel overwhelming to keep track of all the nuances involved in crafting the perfect answers. How can RoleCatcher's AI help me stay on track and ensure I'm presenting myself in the best possible light?
That's a great question. RoleCatcher's AI can be an invaluable tool throughout your interview preparation process. It's not about replacing your individual effort, but rather enhancing it. Imagine having a virtual coach by your side, providing personalized feedback and guidance every step of the way.
Let's explore those AI-powered features in more detail after a short break. We'll be right back to wrap up our deep dive into acing that Import-Export Manager interview. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're in the final stretch of our journey to help you conquer that Import-Export Manager interview. We've covered a wide range of questions, from technical expertise to leadership skills, and now it's time to explore how RoleCatcher's AI features can elevate your preparation to a whole new level.
Yeah, RoleCatcher's AI acts like a personal interview coach, providing tailored feedback and guidance to help you present yourself in the best possible light.
I'm excited to dive deeper into these AI-powered features.
Yeah.
What makes them so unique and effective?
Well, imagine you've spent time crafting thoughtful answers to all those challenging interview questions we've discussed.
Okay.
You can input these responses into RoleCatcher, and its AI will analyze them not just for content, but also for clarity, conciseness, and impact.
So it's like having an expert in both international trade and communication skills reviewing my responses.
Precisely, the AI can identify areas where your answers could be strengthened, suggest alternative phrasing, or even point out if you're using industry jargon that might not be familiar to everyone on the interview panel. It's all about making sure your message is clear, compelling, and tailored to the specific company and role you're applying for.
That's incredible. It takes the guesswork out of preparing and helps me focus on conveying my skills and experience effectively.
And that's not all. Remember, we talked about the importance of nonverbal communication. RoleCatcher's AI has a video practice feature where you can record yourself answering interview questions and receive AI-powered analysis on your delivery, body language, and overall presentation.
This is fascinating. So it's not just about what I say, but how I say it.
Exactly. The AI can analyze subtle cues like your tone of voice, eye contact, and even your posture to provide you with specific feedback on how to project confidence, enthusiasm, and professionalism. It's like having a personal presentation coach right at your fingertips.
Now let's shift our focus back to some final interview questions that often trip up candidates. I'm ready for the challenge.
All right, let's imagine the interviewer leans back and asks, "Tell me about a time you had to handle a difficult situation with a supplier." This is a classic behavioral question designed to assess your problem-solving skills and your ability to manage relationships under pressure.
I understand the importance of choosing a situation that genuinely tested my skills, even if it wasn't a picture-perfect resolution.
That's right. Honesty and self-awareness are key here. Choose a situation where you faced a real challenge, such as a delayed shipment, a quality issue, or a contract dispute. Walk the interviewer through your thought process. How did you identify the problem? What steps did you take to gather information and assess the situation? What options did you consider, and how did you communicate with the supplier and other stakeholders involved?
It's about demonstrating my ability to stay calm, think critically, and find solutions that benefit everyone involved.
Precisely. Now let's shift gears to a question that's all about staying ahead of the curve. How do you stay informed about trends in the seafood industry? This is where your passion for seafood comes in.
I love reading industry reports, attending trade shows, and following thought leaders on social media to learn about the latest trends and innovations. But I imagine the interviewer is looking for more specific examples.
You're right. Mention particular publications you read, like Seafood Source or Intrafish highlight conferences you've attended, such as the Seafood Expo Global or the China Fisheries and Seafood Expo. You can even discuss online forums or industry groups you participate in to exchange knowledge and insights.
It's about demonstrating that I'm genuinely curious and actively engaged in the industry, constantly seeking new knowledge and perspectives.
Now let's tackle one final question that often causes anxiety for candidates. What are your salary expectations?
Oh, yeah.
This question can feel tricky, but it's an opportunity to demonstrate your professionalism and your understanding of the market value for this role.
I know it's crucial to research typical salary ranges for this role in my location, using sites like Glassdoor or Salary.com. But how do I actually answer the question without sounding too demanding or undervaluing myself?
You want to strike a balance between being confident and flexible. You could say something like, based on my experience, skills, and the responsibilities of this role, I'm targeting a salary range of X to Y. However, I'm also open to discussing the overall compensation package, including benefits and growth opportunities.
That sounds like a great approach. It shows I've done my homework, but I'm also open to a conversation based on the specifics of the offer.
Exactly. Remember, the salary is just one piece of the puzzle. Other factors like benefits, work-life balance, company culture, and opportunities for professional growth are equally important.
Deep divers, I think we've equipped you with the knowledge, insights, and AI-powered tools to approach that import-export manager interview with confidence.
We've covered a wide range of topics, from understanding the intricacies of international seafood trade to mastering the art of answering those challenging interview questions.
And don't forget the invaluable support of RoleCatcher's AI features, which can help you refine your answers, practice your delivery, and ultimately present yourself as the ideal candidate for this exciting role.
It's been a pleasure to guide you through this deep dive. Remember, this interview is not just about landing a job. It's about embarking on a fulfilling career in a dynamic and globally connected industry.
So go out there, showcase your passion for seafood, your expertise in international trade, and your confidence in your abilities. We're cheering you on.